Good morning, everyone. Steve Miller here with a shortened Asia Brief podcast. I'm feeling just a little underneath the weather, so no fancy videos or production value today. But let's go ahead and get to your three top stories. First up, heavy rains and strong winds crushed houses on the Philippines' eastern coast, the northeastern coast, by Typhoon Noul, or Dodong as it's called locally in the Philippines. It made landfall and then progressed northeasterly. It's actually closer to Taiwan at the moment. Now, the storm did kill 2 and prompted some 3,000 residents to move to emergency shelters. As it passed over the land, meteorological services did downgrade it to a Category 4. And I actually had the opportunity for my wife to call my mother-in-law, and she said that the storm even was affecting the western coast of Luzon, the big island where the storm was passing over, with some pretty significant winds. So they were able to feel the winds all the way over on the western coast of the big island. Now, while destructive, this storm is bringing much needed rainwater to rice farmers who are dealing with the hot Filipino summer. Also from the Philippines, the nation is planning to turn some of the disputed South China Sea islands into tourist destinations to promote peace as China continues to build land reclamation bases, which many, including myself, suspect will be ultimately military facilities. Now, this announcement was made yesterday, May 11th, and the plan is to take tourists by ferries from Palawan to the Spratly Islands held by the Philippines. The military chief said this would be good for tourism, and you have to wonder, is this really a good idea? Why would anyone want to go to a hotly contested area, especially as China is getting more assertive? But then you take a look at the Korean Peninsula, and you can see how the DMZ tours are a massive, booming business. And finally, nearly 2,000 Muslim Rohingya from Myanmar and Bangladesh were rescued at sea in the South China Sea just recently over the past 2 days. Remember that it's suspected that these individuals, the Rohingya Muslims, are the ones being found in the shallow graves in Thailand. Now, police in Malaysia say smugglers dumped more than 1,000 migrants in shallow waters off the island of Langkawi late Sunday night, and that when they came upon them, they were very weak and very hungry. Now, all this is coming as Thailand is cracking down on human trafficking, even arresting at least one government official. Now, if you're wondering why there are so many migrants, Myanmar does not recognize the existence of the Rohingya ethnicity. Government officials and a lot of locals actually view the Rohingya as illegal migrants from Bangladesh and call them Bengalis. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon urged Myanmar to address the citizenship status of the Rohingya Muslims ahead of the country's elections planned for later this year, calling failing to do so a potentially destabilizing event. Now, those are today's stories. I apologize for the brevity of the podcast today. As I said, I'm not feeling all too well. If you have any comments, please let me know. If you like the podcast, please share it. Of course, subscribe. I will not have time to do a podcast on Wednesday, but I will be back on Thursday with more brand new Asia News Weekly on Friday and a great interview for Asia Now on Saturday. If you have any questions, again, the podcast email address is podcast@asianewsweekly.net. And as always, continue to be true to yourself and always be awesome.